back to Charging Forward.
Today is Tuesday, May 30th.
Tuesday? Don't we usually have Charging Forward on Monday?
Well, yeah, but we didn't have school yesterday.
Good point. So that is why we are here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll hear more about it later in the show.
So this is what a Tuesday show looks like. Interesting. Each month, our after school Explore program selects students of the month.
Here are the selected students for this past month.
Also, we would like to recognize a few of our Explorer program field hockey players.
These players were selected to represent Rio Plaza and the Rio School District in the Field Hockey Cal Cup. Let's check out who was selected.
Now let's head over to see who has a birthday this week.
On Friday last week, we had field day.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun.
Me too. Let's take a look back at some of the fun we had on field day. So yesterday we didn't have school because it was a Memorial Day.
What is Memorial Day?
Well, it is... Wait, I know someone who can help us out. Over to you, Callie.
Thanks, Anae. So yesterday we did not have school because it was Memorial Day. But what is Memorial Day and why do we celebrate it? Memorial Day was originally called Decoration Day. On this day, families and communities would decorate the resting places of soldiers. It was first widely observed on May 30th in 1868. Back then, they were commemorating the sacrifices of Civil War soldiers. In 1873, New York was the first state to designate Memorial Day as a state holiday. Soon this spread to many other cities as well. After World War I, it became practice to honor those who died in American wars. In 1971, Congress passed the Uniform Holiday Act and established Memorial Day as the last Monday in May. Today, Memorial Day is commemorated at Arlington National Cemetery by placing an American flag on each grave. In addition, the president or vice president will lay a wreath in a ceremony on the tomb of the unknown soldier. This tomb represents all soldiers who were lost in battle but were not able to be found or identified. And that is why we celebrate Memorial Day and had Monday off.
Wow, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, it is a very important day.
Well, that was good information to know.
Now on to some other good information. Our weather.
Well, if you thought that sun was going to come out this week, well, it's not, at least for the most part. This May gray is heading right into June gloom, as we have most days partly cloudy with cool temps again. As we head into June, we can expect more of the same as we have had. Soon these clouds will part and summer will head in with some higher temps. But enjoy the cool weather now because we can also expect some humidity with all these clouds and moisture. That was your Charter weather forecast. Back to you in the studio.
As we head into June, we could think about summer, and with summer comes some freedom. Your days may soon have more freedom to do activities, but what can you do with freedom? Well, in Tar Beach by Faith Rig-Gold, Cassie has a dream to be free. She wants to be free to go wherever she wants. One night, her dreams come true as a star lifts her up and she flies over the city. Tar Beach is a great book and has amazing illustrations. You should check it out. But for another book suggestion, let's hear from one of you.
Hello, Charging Forward. This is Jordan. I've been reading this book. It's called Who Would Win, Como Dragon vs. King Cobra by Jerry Palata, illustrated by Rob Bobster. It's about these two reptiles who get in a fight, and I really recommend it. I rated it 5 stars.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's Teacher Tech Tip. This is the last week that we're going to look at Google Sites. But that doesn't mean that we're going to cover everything. There's so many things to cover in Google Sites that they don't have enough time to do it. We're just trying to get you the basics so you can build a Google site and have a little fun with it. Now, We talked about content blocks and other things in the past, but let's actually play around with them. So let's say I want to create an About Me page. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to create a new page, and I'm going to call it About Me. In this section, I'm going to use the content block that allows me to put a picture as well as some text. So what's nice is it's already formatted to do many different things. In the content block, I can click and I can upload, select an image, grab something from Drive, YouTube, calendar, or a map. Let's say I'm doing an image and I have it in my Drive, or I want to select one. Now in Select Image, I can go to my Drive, I can grab a link, or I can even look in Google Images or search for something. I can go to any of my Google Photos that I already happen to have. All right. This is really, really useful because I can grab anything I need to grab from my images. Now, if I select Upload, I can upload an image that I happen to have on my computer. Let's say I grab this one. Now, what I can do from here is now I can do my section of typing. And I have all the different pieces of word editing that I need. Even if I make a mistake, it will tell me, and I can look, as you see it's underlined, and I want to have it fixed. Now, this section will look a little bit different once we have it up and going. So this section can look like that, or like that, but now I'm using a content block. Now some of the content blocks are really, really simple. Maybe you want to add some video. So under here, I want to add some video. I can click Upload, and if I uploaded it to my own YouTube account, it will be under Uploaded. For example, this is how I upload the Charging Forward episodes. I place them in, title it, and add some information. If it's not in your YouTube, you can actually search for a YouTube video. So you can look up other videos and see what's there. Now, sometimes this gets you what you need and sometimes it doesn't. So you got to be a little careful with what you're doing when you're using that method. Now, content blocks are super, super useful because they give you an outline that's already there. And what's really easy is you can drag them around. So you can actually combine content blocks and utilize what you're trying to do within a content block. Now, let's say I want to use a content block, but the way I want to format it's not going to work how it looks. Let's say I want to use this left side, but I really don't want to use this right side as much. I want to get rid of part of this. So I can just drag it out, or I can click on it and click the trash can button. From here, what I can do though is there's this really cool thing called a spacer. By adding a spacer, I can actually add in an amount of space to center or make an object be where I want it to be. So let's say I have a spacer and I want to add an image, and I have that image and I'm going to grab that image right, let's say this wallpaper. And I want it to be a little bit smaller though. Now the problem is if I do this, it will always try to keep it kind of centered or move it around. But let's say I need it lower. I can add that little block in and I can actually move that to give it the space I want it to have. This is really, really useful when you're designing because now with spacers, you can actually design to have gaps in your content. Spacers are really, really useful for things like that. Now, the last little really, really useful piece is the placeholder. This is actually how a content block works. As you see, a placeholder is content you're going to put in the future. By putting a placeholder, you can actually have it be any content, or you can build this out to be very specific content you're going to add at a later date. For example, if you only want it to be images, it will only have a content block for an image. If you only want it to be a doc or a YouTube video, you can have that content block be only that. So when you click on it, it's going to immediately go to just that type of block. And the cool thing is you can add as many as you need. You can add multiple placeholders. Now you'll notice when I bring something in, it creates a new section, but all I have to do is drag it up. And again, if I ever make a mistake, just Control Z and it gets rid of it. Now I can move these around. I can have these shift and get bigger, smaller, all sorts of things. That's the nice thing about Google Sites, is there's a lot of things that we can do in here. So my hope is you're able to play around with Google Sites, maybe not this year, maybe next year. If you're a teacher, have a little fun building something over the summer, or if you're a student, build a portfolio as you get older. But remember, have fun with it, be creative, and that was this week's Teacher Tech Tip.
Can you believe we are down to our last few episodes?
Yeah, it is crazy to think the year is almost over.
Especially since Mr. Mona will show all the outtakes at the end of the year.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he saves all the bloopers and then he makes a funny blooper episode for the last day of school.
Seriously, can we stop it?
I don't think so.
But then everyone will see when we mess up.
You're right. We have to hack his computer and stop it right now.
You know how to do that?
Nope, but we gotta try.